Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Corey, Manny, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Andrew, doing the best Corey impression I can. Hi. I'm your host ish today, and I'm joined by the one, the only, the sexiest member of the Overshield crew, Manny.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Corey and Tommy couldn't make it because reasons. Unknown. I think Tommy's currently climbing Mount Mordor.
Yeah, and Corey is secretly taking singing lessons, and last I heard, he hurt his throat. So, lay off that opera, Corey.
Hey, man, I want to hear his operatic version of Chocolate Rain. I'm just saying. Alright, so without further ado, we'll go right into the news desk. Cue the music. With only two people, it's fantastic.
I thought it was pretty awesome, actually.
Gold record. Okay, so I only have a few stories today, just an FYI. Today's gonna be a little bit of a condensed show. Only two of us. We're not that OG. We can't do that much.
But we'll make it happen, kids.
Well, come on. Trust us. This is Andrew we're talking about. The most consistent. Anyway, so my first story, World of Warcraft, a little indie game, no one's probably heard of it. Subscriptions are on the rise. It ended with 2013 at 7.8 million subscriptions. Which, that's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, that's a milestone, because before, around 2010, they had 12 million subscribers. But, this being said, I do think that this is a milestone for them, because you would think that the days of a paid subscription MMO would be gone. They're gonna die eventually.
Yeah, and then, the folks at Square Enix throw us a curveball and produce Final Fantasy XIV, which is also a paid subscription base, so who knows, man?
I mean, I understand, but those are very, very popular games. I just don't think that Final Fantasy is a name that people are inherently drawn to. But for someone who's just trying to build something, I don't think it'll really work, especially with how many free-to-play games there are nowadays.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
And exactly, I mean, I'm an advocator. I love League of Legends. I think I'm the only one on the website that plays, but I'm seriously addicted to that game. They say it's free, but like $200 or $300 later. And,
yeah.
All right, my second story. Another Blizzard title, Diablo 3. Personally, I don't understand the hate for it, but that's neither here or there. Diablo 3 has now sold a grand total of 15 million copies.
Jeez.
That's a whole lot of lumps.
Yeah. Now, is that including all the different consoles, or?
Yes, that is including the consoles, the PC, and that's both PS3, 360, and PC. And there's two more versions coming out later this year, coming to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So
nice.
That's a whole lot of money. I don't understand all the hate for that game.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a good game to get around on the couch, have a few drinks, and then just play for fun,
Well, I don't know about all that. I'm only 20, Manny. I don't think I'm old. What are you trying to condone, Manny? Are you trying to get me drunk? Underage drinking?
It's all about drinking responsibly,
As you slur your words, it's all about drinking responsible.
Yeah.
All
All right, and then I just figured we'd. Well, do you have any news stories, Manny?
Well, tomorrow, Bravely Default's coming out. So, any 3DS users, if you're looking for some hope this week, that is definitely one of them. I'm trying to think what else is going on.
Well, I have a list right here of games that are coming out.
Oh, there you go. Ring it off.
All right, so it came out. We're gonna go from February 1st all the way up to February 13th. All the games that come out within that time. Okay, so Fable Trilogy and Fable Anniversary came out on the 4th. Which, if you're a Fable fan, go ahead and grab that and all your Peter Molyneux-isms. A game called Outlast came out on the PlayStation 4.
Oh yeah.
What is that, Manny?
Well, it's basically this game where you play as this detective, and I'm really kind of unsure about what the time frame is. It looks like it's somewhere between the 50s and 60s. I could be totally wrong, but basically it's actually not a detective. It's like a news reporter / investigator, but they go into this so-called like insane asylum. And upon going in there, trying to get the scoop on what's really going on behind closed doors, this individual finds out that it's really more like this horror house where, the members of the insane asylum are running around free and demented. And then under further investigation, they find out that these like ex-Nazi scientists were also in this facility, and that the insane victims were basically the test victims as well. So it's almost like you're going up against these Castle Wolfenstein creations, but it's not quite as far-fetched. But obviously the main thing with this game is fear, and it's best played in the dark with your headphones and just total chaos. So it looks very fun. And
I was going to say, that sounds very Pidgeotto. Do you see what I did there? Because you said far-fetched. Thank you everybody. Thank you. I'll be here all week. All right.
Fetch far.
All right. Today released a port of Double Dragon Neon on Steam. It's a great action beat-em-up game that's totally 80s. As you said, Bravely Default will be coming out tomorrow. A game called... Oh, I'm gonna murder this game. It's a PlayStation Vita game. Tokiden: The Age of Demons.
Oh, pre-ordered that one.
Well, once again, Manny, do you mind telling everyone what that is? Because my white brain has no idea.
Oh man, I'm surprised you haven't heard of this one, being a fellow Koei fan. Basically, the people who brought you Dynasty Warriors decided to do what I guess you could say a threesome with the folks of Monster Hunter and God Eater Burst. And I don't think officially they did, but it just seems like that in terms of the gameplay. But because basically you play as this Dynasty Warrior like character who runs around, slays monsters, collects their souls, and then you use it to, craft weapons or just upgrade characters. Again, it's kind of this hack and slash run around gameplay, but the focus also is leveling up like in a traditional RPG. And what I also think is interesting, it does have somewhat unique storyline. So for anyone who's into the Monster Hunter series or the God Eater Burst series from the PSP, or even from Dynasty Warriors, and if you just want to try something that's slightly different but very entertaining, very addictive, easy to play on the go, I'd highly recommend this game. I'm only saying this because I played the demo, and interestingly enough, I thought the demo would be traditional and you'd only have maybe 20 minutes of gameplay, if that even. But funny enough, the demo took me over 3 hours to get through, and it was very fun 3 hours well spent. So I'm really anticipating the official release.
All right. There's only a few more games that are coming out. Actually, some DLC for Far Cry called The Wild Expedition. I have not played any of the Far Cry games, but I'm pretty sure if you're a Far Cry guy, you can't go wrong. Far Cry seems to do really well with their add-ons with Blood Dragon and all that.
Oh yeah. If Corey was here, he'd give you 2 hours worth.
Yeah, I can imagine. Releasing on February the 12th is the free-to-play MMO on 360 called World of Tanks, which looks just like a giant, more elaborate version of Battle Tanks, which was on N64. I love that game.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's free, go ahead and download it. Go ahead and try it, even if it's garbage. That's always been my opinion. At least it's free garbage. Alright, and finally, actually, I have two more. The second episode of The Wolf Among Us came out, which I've been waiting for 4 months. Telltale. That's just something. Anyway, on the 13th of February, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, which, that's just a terrible name if you think about it. Is that a simulator of Lightning returning the original Final Fantasy to GameStop? She just says, I'm done with this, guys. You know what? We tried number 1 and 2. No, take it. Take it. I want my $3 and I can go buy Sneak King.
No, if this game lives up to the hype, I mean, it might draw in some returning fans and new fans alike. So the gameplay definitely looks slightly different, kind of more like Kingdom Hearts. So we'll see.
I don't personally understand what they keep doing with Final Fantasy 13, though. I mean, a lot of people bought the first Final Fantasy 13, right? But it didn't get great reviews. As far as I know, the second one got just as mediocre of reviews, and yet they make a third one for a game that, as far as I knew, like, a lot of people weren't really looking forward to. So why would they keep making that?
This is a little bit from playing all three. Well, the first two of the series, still waiting on the third one, but it seems like where they messed up on the first one was the turn-based wasn't quite as revolutionary as they thought it would be, and then on the second game they made it somewhat a little bit closer to like the Kingdom Hearts game style, although it's still kind of turn-based, but it's based more on timing rather than just waiting turns. And then Lightning Returns, I mean, that one is very close to the Kingdom Hearts game style, where certain buttons are associated with certain attacks and you just got to wait for them to cool down and before you can use it again. Plus the whole idea of Lightning be able to change like her outfits, meaning it changes her class like within an instant, somehow changes or alters the gameplay itself, and that can be crucial in certain boss battles. So
I mean, if everything actually turns out the way you say it is, then that, it sounds like a really fun game. I personally love the Kingdom Hearts series. But we'll see. Square has not been doing so well. You play a lot of Final Fantasy 14, so I can't really say. In my opinion, they haven't been doing so well lately, but I guess you're in love with them.
Oh yeah, they really haven't. Yeah, and I can't be blinded by my love of the one particular game, because there's no way they could survive on that single title. But yeah, I mean, I think they're under the gun in the sense that they need to produce, highly anticipated games, including, the Kingdom Hearts and the upcoming Final Fantasy 15. So,
wasn't that originally Final Fantasy Versus?
Good question. Yeah, I think it kind of evolved from that idea. So yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's the that's the news desk this week. Alright, so now we'll be moving on to the middle segment, which is a two-parter. Surprise, Manny. Surprise, surprise.
Ooh, even I'm surprised.
Oh, I know. Half of it, we're actually going to be talking about some of our PS3. I'm just recently on the PS3 Master Race. However, my sensei Manny has been a PS3 Sony person forever. So, and then other than that, we're just going to talk about some games we've been playing recently. Show some love for the games.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a gaming podcast, right? I think I could swear this is the most we've stayed on topic ever.
So since you're new to the PS3, why don't you tell us what your experience has been like so far, Andrew?
Well, first off, an overwhelming amount of games that I've been wanting to play. Just overwhelming. First of all, I think I'm the only person on the website. I dig sports games, personally, and I love...
Oh, you and me both.
I love baseball, personally, and Sony has MLB The Show, which is awesome. Like, it is so much better than anything you get on 360. But other than that, I've been playing. Sorry, I got Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, so I've been playing the original Kingdom Hearts HD. Really fun. But other than that, like just an overwhelming amount of free games. Like this month, Metro Last Light. Last month, BioShock, and I got to play Shadow of the Colossus, which is something I've been wanting to play. And over there, I've been shopping for my PlayStation 3. I have I have a stack of games here. Like, let me see. I have Metal Gear Solid 4. I've never played it. Looking forward to getting around to play that. I have God of War 1, 2, and 3. White Knight Chronicles 2. Batman Arkham Origins. The Last of Us. Ni no Kuni. Wrath of the White Witch. Just overwhelming joy is what my PlayStation 3 has brought me, Manny.
I'm really excited for you. I'm glad to hear that.
Please, teach me the way, Sensei.
So, are there any other upcoming titles you're looking forward to on that console?
I honestly don't know. It's, right now, what I'm mostly doing with my PlayStation 3, I'm mostly going back and enjoying exclusives I didn't get the chance to play. Like, eventually, I want to play Heavy Rain. That's something I've wanted to play since since I saw it. But the PlayStation 3, in my mind, always had better exclusives. But what about you, Manny? Is there something you're looking forward to?
Actually, there's a couple titles. What's really surprised me with the PlayStation 3 is, with the release of the PlayStation 4, it's like, it almost kind of begs to wonder why even in terms of getting the console or sticking with it, aside from, of course, the benefits of PlayStation Plus, which we'll get into later. And that is, surprisingly enough, it seems like there's this push in trying to aim more towards a lot of the JRPG audience. A few titles that are upcoming include the remaster of the 10-year anniversary of the Tales of Symphonia Complete Collection. So for anyone who's into that series, it looks really cool in terms of both characterization, story. If you're into anime, it fits the bill on all three of those. Plus, it's a remaster of a game that was originally a Wii exclusive. So for any PlayStation users, first-time users, that'll be a plus. Also, another title is Drakengard 3. So, have you ever played any of the previous Drakengard titles, Andrew?
I have not.
It was one of those titles for me. I kept looking at it, like when we still had a movie gallery here, and I thought, man, that looks kind of like Dynasty Warriors with dragons. And then, of course, Lair came out for the PlayStation 3, but I never got into Drakengard. And seeing this third title, it looks kind of interesting. So, again, it's another JRPG that's been ported over here with an English dub, but it looks like it can be promising again in terms of both gameplay and a reason why I should stick with my PlayStation 3. But then again, there's also the PlayStation Plus, which I'm sure we'll get into shortly.
I'm not sure. Let me ask you a question. Do you have Knack?
I don't, but my sister does.
Have you played Knack?
Yeah, I played it with her a little bit.
And what do you think of it? Because I want to play that game.
Yeah. Here's the thing, like, it's been getting a lot of flack, and I think that's because, with releases like Killzone, at launch, and then you look at Knack, and you're like, what could I possibly get out of this? And to me, Knack is kind of like this generation's attempt at the simpler games, like Banjo-Kazooie, or, like those
Crash
Jack
Bandicoot.
and Baxter. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, those kind of games where it's like you just do some platforming, level progression, but it's nothing so complex where the casual gamer or even new time gamers won't be like, wow, this is overwhelming. It's more like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. So I think that's the kind of audience it's meant to cater to, and I have a feeling I'm sure it does secretly. So
I agree with you. I did try a demo of it, and it has like 3 button prompts or something like that.
Something like that.
And it really does barken me back to the days of like the PlayStation 1 and Crash Bandicoot, and yet people are criticizing it for being too simple.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. If a game was meant to be like that, then you should treat it as such. It's not trying to be some kind of master race game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I know that's slightly off topic, still on Sony, but so what this PlayStation Plus thing, Manny, I must say, as a person that has both Xbox Live and PlayStation Plus is so much more worth it. Like,
tell me about it.
Not only the free games, which, like I said earlier, since I've gotten PlayStation Plus, I've downloaded Night at the Inventory 2, or Poker Night at the Inventory 2, which is tons of fun, though it glitched on me more than once. Even Ob, which there's a review of it up on my YouTube channel, XCOM, and Little Big Planet Racing, and Metro Last Light, and Bioshock Infinite, and literally just a ton of games that just completely free. I mean, and it's only like $15 for 3 months. And there's a ton. You get exclusive deals, you get exclusive themes, and I just don't understand how Sony does it. I think that they have a blacklist of developers, and they say if you don't give us your game for free, we will tell you all what you did last night at the party. I don't I don't get it, but it's awesome. Like, literally, if I still was an active well, it doesn't really do PSP anymore, but if I had a PS Vita or a PS4, it would be even more worth it. Because if you pay for PlayStation Plus on one, you get PlayStation Plus on all of them, right?
Oh, yeah, and that was actually kind of a topic I wanted to jump into, but I didn't want to interrupt the track you were going on.
No, go ahead. I mean, I ended up there anyways. I think we're on sync tonight.
Okay. Basically, what I was just going to say is what I love about the PlayStation Plus and why I think it is so worth it, regardless of which plan you get, is that in many cases, you're double, if not triple dipping, especially if you have a PlayStation 4, a PlayStation 3, or even a PS Vita. In my case, particularly, like what I like to do is I'll get, like, for example, Outlast on the PlayStation 4, and while that's downloading, I downloaded Metro Last Light for the PS3, and then while that was downloading, I ended up downloading for the Vita, shoot, what was it? I think it was...
Isn't Brain Age free right now?
Brain Age? I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
I don't remember, but I checked it out, and like Gravity Rush is free. Isn't that like one of the best games on the Vita?
Gravity Rush is kind of a hit or miss. Like, the story is good, but the gameplay, it's kind of slow in the beginning. But once it picks up, you're kind of like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. I definitely would not recommend playing Gravity Rush if you were like in the car, because you end up having your character like flying all over the place, and it gets kind of nauseating after a while. Even if you're just sitting still, it's kind of like, whoa. But that's a good one. Oh, I know what it was. I'm looking forward to the PlayStation Plus free download of Tekken versus Street Fighter. And that's for the PS Vita. So it's those games where you're kind of like, if you're on the fence, should I buy it, should I not? If you have a PlayStation Plus membership and it's on there, it's like, grab it, man. It's for free. So
exactly. I personally haven't downloaded everything. Like, I didn't download Uncharted 3 because I didn't play Uncharted 1 or 2. I think that's kind of silly.
Right.
But I agree completely. Like, in my honest opinion, it's worth it just to grab Shadow of the Colossus and Eco.
Oh yeah.
I haven't delved into Eco yet, to be fair, but that game fetches a pretty penny online.
Mm-hmm.
And since they're adding new stuff all the time, it's seriously one of the best bundles you can get. And this podcast was not paid by Sony.
Yeah.
But I mean, is there anything else you want to go over in terms of your love for the PlayStation?
For the PlayStation, my love for it. Well, let's see. I think we pretty much covered, the basics on it, especially with the PlayStation Plus membership. I guess the biggest thing is, what's nice about it is, depending on which plan you get, and how long you have PlayStation Plus, you can always count on new games coming out each month. And So definitely get yourself a good memory card or a console that has a lot of memory on it, so that way you can stack up on those games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My girlfriend got me the 250 gig for Christmas, and I love her for it.
Yeah, sounds like a keeper.
Right? She got me that in the bundle with Batman Arkham Origins and The Last of Us.
Oh man, lucky
I
dog.
I know. I'm the luckiest person out there. But oh man, I did not like Grid 2. I'm putting it out there. I tried it. I did not like it.
Yeah, you and me both, man. But and I kind of had high expectations for it just from the trailer and stuff, and I played it a little bit at Corey's house, and he loved it. So
I guess it had islandism. Do you know what I mean by that, Manny?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so what have you been playing recently, Manny? What have you been delving your hands into?
Well, you know me, I'm always playing Final Fantasy 14 on the PlayStation 3.
Because you're totally not addicted.
Yeah. So yeah, guilds are not addicting. So I'm playing a buttload of that. I haven't really touched my PlayStation 4, which is kind of sounds bad, especially with the for a while there I was pretty hooked on Battlefield 4, but then I got a lot of flack from my Final Fantasy friends. They're like, "Where you been?" I'm like, "All right, I'll play with you guys."
Quick question for you. As someone that's never played Battlefield before, is it worth it to go buy Battlefield 4?
Oh, hands down. And let me tell you, this is coming from someone who was greatly disappointed with Battlefield 3. So when I heard about 4's release, I was kind of like, I don't know. They went about a step and a half backwards with 3. I don't know if I want to do 4. And then when I watched the reviews, I noticed they addressed a lot of the issues with the sniper rifles. And even more so, the recon class that uses the sniper rifles, they brought back all of its previous perks from Battlefield Bad Company 2. And for anyone who is new or a veteran to the Battlefield series, especially for the multiplayer aspect, Battlefield Bad Company 2 really set the bar for that game. And a lot of that had to do with the weapon loadouts, the quality of the weapons, and the perks that each class had. And unfortunately, Battlefield 3 kind of screwed that up. It's kind of half and half in terms of who agrees and who disagrees on that for Battlefield 3, but it's good to see that they fixed most of the issues, or at least in my case, I think that way, for Battlefield 4. So definitely well worth the purchase, and I'm just glad to see they brought back a lot of concepts from Battlefield Bad Company 2.
I mean, do you wish it had a dog?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what Call of Duty's all about, right?
The attack dogs.
I mean, if you had a Call of Duty, or if you had a Battlefield dog with its own perks and equipment, would that be amazing, or is that just dumb?
I don't know, if you could mount like a turret on it and then just like have it run around on the level, that would be cool. Or if it had like a flamethrower, I would dig that.
Absolutely. I think that they should get right on that DLC pack. Turret wielding dogs. So, some Battlefield, some Final Fantasy 14. What else? Anything else?
Well, I gave what's it called? Metro Last Light quick sample before tonight's podcast, and I thought it was really fun. It was, again, one of those titles where when it came out, I was like, oh man, it looks like I should really get this. And then Corey's like, you have to get it. I'm like, unless you're paying, buddy, I don't think so. And then you see it in the $20 bin, and it's like, well, should I do it? And then, counted my lucky stars, and it's on PS Plus. So checked it out from there, and been loving it since. But enough about me. How about you, Andrew? I know you talked a little bit about some titles. Are you playing anything big right now? Or?
Oh, you don't want me to go? I'll never shut up. Like I said, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, the first one. I put in a really good play session. I went from the islands in the beginning. Have you played Kingdom Hearts 1?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
This is back on the PlayStation 2 days, of course, but yeah.
Okay, so you'll know what I'm talking about. But I went all the way from the islands up to the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah.
In one sitting. So.
Whoa.
I think I busted through 5 or 6 worlds, like.
Yeah.
Tarzan, Hercules, Alice in Wonderland, Agrabah, Monstro, and I'm taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Like 12 hours later, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put the controller down.
Have you gone to the Little Mermaid section?
Oh, no, not yet. I'm glad
you're
it's
in
not
for a
like number
treat.
2.
Yeah, you're in for a treat when you get there.
Oh man, it's been a long time. By the way, the final mix is different. There are enemies I don't remember. Like, do you know the little basic heartless?
Oh yeah.
Like, there are ones that are bigger than you.
Whoa.
They're literally taller than you are, and they just whip you around. I'm like, why are you guys so mean? Before I could just smack you once with my keyblade and you went away, but now you're beating me up. But other than that, I've been playing a little bit of MLB The Show. I'm hopelessly addicted to baseball games, whether it be 2K, The Show. I'm not going to go into it because it's not that interesting. I've been playing League of Legends lately a lot. Season 4 just started, so I did all my placements. Silver 5, which is better than I've ever been. Yeah, don't judge me. Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Hellboy: The Science of Evil for Niker Plays. Echoes of JFK for the Overshield.com. Go check out the review. It's out right now. But other than that, not a whole lot. That's basically what's been taking up my time. Getting back into League of Legends was a huge mistake. But
Oh yeah.
I'm enjoying it. It is such a time sink. Like, have you ever checked it out or interested in playing it, Manny?
You know, I've tried to, and what I think is even more interesting is the dedication of the players I, see and hear about who play that game. I guess the one question I have is, well, actually, it's not even a question. It's kind of more of a heads up. Apparently, they have an opening right now in San Francisco, California, for anyone who wants to be like a content reporter for League of Legends, and this is for Riot Studios. So the actual makers of the game, they want a content reporter, like someone who will talk about the game and kind of be the representative when it comes to interacting with the players and, getting the next scoop on it. So, it's kind of out there.
I'll be applying.
Yeah, and we just hope you stick with the Overshield if you do.
Screw you guys. No. No, but it's a really fun game. You know what? You should give it another shot with friends, with me. Because it's a game that really you need people to play with you. Because I'll be honest, I'm not sure how long you played or how much of a chance you gave it, but the community in that game is terrible. Like, I'll be honest, like, if you do bad in a game, you will get called things that you should never be called. Even over the internet. Like, it is people get so angry, and it's not as bad now, but there was a time when I first started playing where I would log into a game and both of the other people were from Brazil. So they'd be speaking in Spanish and they would start yelling at me in Spanish. And
oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Luckily it's not that bad anymore, but if you're going to play with friends, kids. Don't play with online people. But you know what? That's basically been it. I need to get back into The Last of Us. I'm at a part where I know it's gonna get better later. People tell me that the beginning is slow.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure. Have you played The Last of Us?
No, I haven't. And now that I hear you are, I should let Corey know. That way he can stop bugging me and start bugging you for a review for it.
Oh, great! Thank you.
Yeah. He's always like, Manny, when are you gonna buy that? I'm like, when are you gonna buy it?
I have it, and it's just a little bit slow, but that's what I hear. The beginning, like 2 or 3 hours, is slow, and then you kind of get sucked into it. I'm planning on playing the second episode of The Wolf Among Us later tonight. Like I said, 4 months Telltale. Thank you. You need to play The Wolf Among Us. I think the first episode is free right now, Manny.
Oh, really? How is that game?
It's better than The Walking Dead.
Okay.
Season 1. And The Walking Dead Season 1 I thought was great. For any of you that didn't know or didn't see the review, The Wolf Among Us Episode 1, Faith, is the second game ever in the Overshield's history to get a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
That's how highly I think of it. I think The Walking Dead's really fun, but the overall setting and aesthetic of the game is much more it's much more appealing to me because, while I like The Walking Dead's story and the gameplay, I mean, let's be honest, how many zombie survival games are out there right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So something that's taking place with fairy tales and all that stuff is just more interesting to me.
Sure.
But that's it for like the 9th time.
Yep, and I'm afraid that's all I got too, man.
All right, so I guess out of I guess respect or and good luck to him. We're not gonna be people doing stupid shit tonight. Because Tommy's not here, so sorry guys. Blame Canada or something.
Yeah, it just means you'll get a double dose next time. Or not.
The double dose. And hey,
No.
hey, next week we should have a guest on the show.
That would be cool.
Hey, every other week I've been trying to live up to that.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, that reminds me, with the upcoming release of tomorrow for Bravely Default, again, our shout out and thanks to Erica Zabo for being on our show and talking briefly a little bit about that.
Yep, absolutely. She's a great YouTuber. Maybe we've gotten a lot of people saying that they wanted her back on the show, and she herself said she wanted to be back on the show. So
that would be very cool.
Well, we will see. But anyways, we're moving on to the final segment of the evening, shout outs. Well, I guess there's only 2 of us, so should we do Rochambeau to see who's gonna go first?
Sure. I'm kind of at a loss. Not sure what Rochambeau is.
I would kick you in the nuts and say Bangkok. I don't know. Just go first.
Oh golly, my shout out. Jeez. Yeah. You know what? I guess my shout out would have to be the PlayStation Plus, just because it's kind of it kind of snuck up on me this month. Because honestly, like, as much as we've been talking how great it is, for the month of January, it was actually kind of weak and disappointing. In fact, there wasn't even really a release for the PlayStation 4 other than that one survival game. I can't even remember it now. It shows you how awesome it was. But no, this month it was just kind of like, oh wow, finally some titles that not only I'm into, but ones that I've been waiting for, like, Metro Last Light, Outlast, and Tekken vs. Street Fighter. So yeah, I guess my shout out would go to PlayStation Plus. I know it sounds like a cop-out, but I mean, it truly is something special, and it just, is one of those that snuck up on me.
You weren't into DMC or BioShock Infinite?
DMC I tried briefly. I like the story, but the gameplay for me, I just kind of got burnt out like really quick, and especially particularly on the platforming. It's not like it was heavy with it, but I was just like, this is okay.
Oh, okay.
And I think maybe I would have preferred the older DMCs, because I think the character to me in those seemed a lot more interesting, or more appealing. I don't know. And then as for BioShock, I played a little bit with Corey, and that night I think I ended up falling asleep. So when I downloaded it on the PlayStation 3, of course, and played it, I didn't even get as far as Corey did. So shows how much I was awake and enthusiastic for it.
Right, ringing endorsement. So good you'll fall asleep.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's all I got really for this week.
My shout out. Let me see. I should have put more thought into this.
I know, yeah, way to put me on the spot.
I know.
Now it's your turn.
I know. Well, I should have thought of something instead of trying to be all quick with the responses. You know what? My shout out goes to the late Jew Wario.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Our website never really addressed that. I personally, I'll be honest, I never watched his videos until that happened, which is sad to say, but going back and watching what he did put up and just getting the overall census of what people said about him, like the other YouTubers, and how much he affected other people's lives, he seemed like a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you ever watched him or followed him, Manny, but
I honestly didn't, and when I heard about that, and especially when I watched Angry Joe's emotional video response to it, I'm like, oh my god, like our community or gaming community really lost someone big. So naturally you look him up and you realize, wow, this was a cool dude.
Exactly. not only Angry Joe, like I remember that day, Screw Attack posted a video, Angry Joe posted a video, a YouTuber I personally watched, the Happy Console Gamer, posted a video, and I always knew who he was, but I never really checked him out, and it was more just because I just didn't like. It wasn't because I don't like his content, but just a shout out to him and everything, all of his great content that he created, and just on a little bit more of a personal note, if you're ever down or anything like that, just call a line or something like that. Just know that there's someone out there for you. There's family, friends. It's not worth it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know it's a little bit of a downer way to kind of go to the end of the show, but seriously, I love all of your faces, and I wouldn't want any of you guys to go away.
Yeah. And not only that, but you have a huge gaming community to, be there and kind of help you out to cope with it. I mean, between the folks at, the Screw Attack, also, us here over at the Overshield, and then, even Juwario's fans on his YouTube channel. I mean, you'll find him there, you'll find him anywhere, and I'm sure they'll all have wonderful things to say about him, and I think that's really the best way to remember someone.
I agree. Anyway, on that note, on a little bit of a melancholy, me and Manny would like to thank you for listening to this episode of Pixels and Bits.
Of course.
And like always, we'll see you next time. And I'm Andrew.
And I'm Manny.
Peace.
Have a good one, everyone.